This is 7 News, the voice of the border.
Tonight, a pedestrian dies after being struck on the freeway south of Wangaratta.
A proposal to slow traffic to 80 kilometres an hour near the scene of a horror fatal.
And residents launch a new campaign against noise pollution.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. A pedestrian has died after being hit by a truck, and a young girl was critically injured in a separate crash in a horror weekend on the region's roads.
It comes as Victoria Police target bad driver behaviour as part of Operation Furlong ahead of Melbourne Cup Day.
A long weekend blitz targeting those doing the wrong thing on our roads.
Should I give you one big long breath, please?
Wodonga Police set up a random breath test today as part of Operation Furlong.
No, one long contiguous breath out, thank you.
Police will be out in force in order to enforce the road laws and to promote positive road safety behaviours by all members of the community.
The campaign will run until tomorrow night, aimed at curbing the state's growing road toll as people take advantage of the Melbourne Cup public holiday. And local police have already caught some drivers on the wrong side of the law.
Clearly, people are not adhering to the message of road safety in Wodonga and would encourage all people to be mindful of their effects on other road users.
2 P-platers were caught well over the limit in Wodonga, reading .078 and .082, while another driver blew .112. And in Beechworth, a 43-year-old man faces some serious charges after an alleged reading almost 5 times the legal limit.
It has surprised me that we are able to process 4 drink drivers through just random interceptions in the Wodonga Police Service area. To me, that indicates that the message is falling on deaf ears.
Police are also investigating a fatal collision between a pedestrian and a truck northbound on the Hume Freeway at Glenrowan on Saturday. Investigators are appealing for any witnesses or anyone with dashcam footage to come forward. Meanwhile, north of the border, a young girl was critically injured in a crash in Albury on Saturday when the car she was in hit a tree. It's left authorities on both sides of the border urging safety on the region's roads this long weekend.
Be aware of the significant penalties for drink driving. They include substantial fines, vehicle impoundments, and in extreme cases, jail is a possibility. So we are very concerned about the message that's not being heard by some drivers in our community.
Claire Sianta, 7 News.
Meanwhile, the Victorian Transport Department is reviewing speed restrictions on a local road which intersects the Hume following a quadruple fatal in late August. Motorists can currently travel at 100 kilometres down Wenkeys Road, but there are calls to reduce the limit to 80 on the approach to the freeway.
Fatal crashes and many more near misses. 10 crashes in 10 years at Wenkeys Road has some calling for an overhaul. One Chiltern resident of 47 years said it should never have been opened in the first place.
It was supposed to be a temporary road while they did the highway, and it should have been blocked off, but they haven't done it.
Locals say a 100-kilometre limit on Wenkeys Road, right up until you hit the Hume, is not good enough.
It's too fast. A few years ago they resealed it, but all they did was they put it up by about another 20 mil, but it still left all the bumps, hollows and everything else that was there.
But others say local knowledge means it's safe.
I've been using Wenkeys Road since I was a kid. Clearly, it may be a bit of an issue, but I've never had any dramas using it.
The Department of Transport are now reviewing the speed limit here on Wenkeys Road, and while they say there's no chance of closing the actual intersection, they are looking at bringing the speed limit down to 80 kilometres an hour.
So what do you think bringing it down to 80 will do?
Nothing. It won't stop it.
I think it's quite good. It's, the vision's quite good there. You can see left and right for a fair way.
Oh yeah, people do 100 all right. Absolutely they do. And go a hell of a lot faster. Yep.
So would you support bringing it to 80?
Yeah, absolutely. Too rideable.
Jacqueline Stanley, 7 News.
A man and woman charged over an alleged murder attempt are set to face court tomorrow. The Queensland pair were arrested in Maxville after a shooting in Thaguna on Thursday. Let's bring in Jacqueline Stanley now for more. And Jackie, what's the latest?
Nick, a 25-year-old Charlene Cranshaw is now out on bail. She's charged as an accessory to the crime with armed robbery. 35-year-old Shannon Bush, however, is facing 10 charges, including attempted murder. The Queenslander also faces firearm offences. Police allege he shot a 26-year-old Thagoona man with a pistol in broad daylight last Thursday. He was refused bail and remains locked up on the North Coast before the pair face Albury local court tomorrow. And the shooting victim, meanwhile, he's in a stable condition. Nick?
OK, thanks for the update, Jackie. That's Jacqueline Stanley reporting for us tonight.
Public drunkenness will be decriminalised in Victoria from tomorrow, bringing the law into alignment with New South Wales. Police will no longer be able to arrest people they suspect are drunk in a public place. Instead, they'll be taken to sobering up centres and given alcohol and drug counselling. One local security company says it's going to be a difficult adjustment with big events such as the Wodonga Gold Cup on the horizon.
If they're too drunk, then we have to call the police to ask them for what's the next step. But now even the police have the hands tied, so we're going to be more helpless.
The closest sobering up centre in our region is at Shepparton.
Killara residents have lodged a noise complaint against a metal recycling plant. They say the noise from the facility is making their lives a living nightmare.
Residents in a Killara housing estate with a clear message.
Tone it down, get it under control.
Residents have described noise from nearby IMEX Integrated Metal Management as excessive. They've lodged noise complaints with Wodonga Council and the EPA.
You can hear them pick up metal, you can hear them drop metal, you can hear the trucks reversing into trailers in the morning, and you can hear them loading containers in the morning and evening. So it's not the machines, it's the material handling.
Residents say the noise disturbance began in 2018. They fear the noise will only worsen.
Work on ways to handle material in a respectful manner and give people the rest they deserve and keep the area a pristine area.
On Saturday morning, a community meeting offered a space to voice concerns.
Residents are up in arms, and after their community meeting, it seems further action is not far off.
I would definitely consider a petition because the response we got from the people attending was fantastic, to be honest. The residents are actually concerned about issues that affect us in here.
IMEX has addressed concerns, explaining they are keen to invest in the site, improve amenity and address the community requests, and in order to do so have lodged 2 applications to amend their planning permit with Wodonga Council. Now it's a waiting game. Rochelle Punikovic, 7 News.
Boat users on the region's inland waterways have been put on notice after an alarming number of safety breaches over the weekend. New South Wales Maritime launched Operation Stay Afloat in the state's south over the weekend. Officers conducted more than 350 checks in the boating safety blitz. 49 offences were recorded, with 50% of those life jacket related. 10 fines were issued across the state, 6 of those in the Murray Inland region. Boating safety officers say they saw too much complacency around life jackets, particularly on the Murray and Alpine waterways.
We've seen an alarming number of offences related to life jacket wear, and your life jacket is the most important piece of safety equipment you can have on your vessel.
The Murray Inland region rates the worst in the state when it comes to life jacket complacency, with almost 3,000 offences detected over the past 5 years.
South Country returned to Lake Hume for a big weekend of racing with Albury Wodonga Yacht Club. Around 300 people attended the volunteer-powered event, with almost 60 sailing boats registered to compete in racing held over 2 days, bringing together sailors, coaches and support crews from across New South Wales and Victoria.
The wonderful thing for us too was we had a number of people who came to the regatta who've never visited this region before. So they are new to South Country and new to this region.
South Country is set to return in November next year.
A surprised How Long resident thought she had visitors dropping in when a tent landed in her backyard. The homeowner spotted the tent flying through the air and took to social media to ask, has anyone lost one? A strong wind gust lifted the tent high into the air. The runaway tent has been reunited with its owner. Good to hear.
Looks a little bit like a UFO.
It does a little bit. It would have given you a fright.
It certainly would. Well, Kirsty is here now for a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, it was a sunny morning with some warm temperatures about.
Yeah, it was. I've not seen any flying temps around today, though. Not windy enough, I don't think. Hello, everyone. It was a settled start to the new working week today. We did see very mild temperatures overnight, double digits for many of us. And we've continued to feel the warmth during the day, maximums well into the high 20s at Yarrawonga and Culcairn, 29 degrees today. Those maximums accompanied by a little east to northeasterly wind. They were a little gusty around Albury, but elsewhere remained relatively settled. Myrtleford 27 was our top today, and in Bright we reached a top of 22. I do apologise for that. We are expecting some scattered showers and storms across the region tonight, ahead of more showers tomorrow and more decent rainfall later in this week due to a trough moving through. I'll have a look at that weather a little later on, guys.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Kirsty. See you in a couple of minutes.
Still to come in 7 News, a protest against the aerial culling of wild brumbies.
And end of an era, Wangaratta's final Jazz and Blues Festival.
One of the region's much-loved music events has hit its final note over the weekend. The Wangaratta Jazz Festival has held its last hurrah with musicians from right around Australia descending on the city for the last festival. The event began in 1990 and has been a major draw card for visitors to Wangaratta and surrounds for the last 30 years. There is some hope that the Jazz Festival will live on, but on a smaller scale.
Tough decision in the end to call the last hurrah in the current format with the current resources. But as we found out over the weekend, there's a number of people that are interested in different things, so we should see something rise potentially.
Organisers have thanked the community for its support over the past 3 decades.
Brumby protesters have taken to Tumut streets demanding a review into the aerial shooting of wild horses in the Kosciuszko National Park. But the state government isn't budging and says it needs to cull the brumbies urgently.
Roads in Tumut lined with images of brumbies.
It's disgusting. There's a better way.
Community members protesting the recent amendment which will allow wild horses to be culled via aerial shooting.
To highlight the awareness of the fundamental flawed methodology for the counting of the wild horses.
Around 80 people attended the rally calling for an independent review into the management of the brumby numbers in the Kosciuszko National Park.
We want a recount with imagery. We want to show exactly how many horses are there. That has to fundamentally be done. Stop all the shooting, stop all the trapping, do the independent recount.
Aerial culling is being reintroduced to bring the horse number down to the legally required target of 3,000 by mid-2027.
Aerial shooting is routine when it comes to the management of feral animals. This is what's being used across the state and across this country to manage feral deer, to manage feral pigs, and in most other states to manage feral horses.
Those in favour of aerial culling say killing the horses is unfortunately a necessary evil.
These are people who do not want to see a single horse removed or killed. And that will see the destruction, the degradation of our alpine landscapes.
The government also sticking to its decision, Premier Chris Minns saying the estimated brumby numbers were put forward by experts.
Those protesting the brumby kills say they'll continue to fight. Marla Summer, 7 News.
Early birds in the northeast captured a spectacular sight this morning. Several residents took to social media to share photos of a stunning aurora australis over Beechworth. The cosmic light is caused by high energy particles from the sun colliding with the planet's magnetic field. And don't worry if you missed out, the lights may be on show again tonight.
The Eagles have thrashed the premiership favourites to fly into second on the cricket ladder. But it was a new recruit that became the story on the weekend, and he's set to become the league's most exciting player.
After winning the toss and batting, Blake Elliott had Belvoir 1 down in the first over. But from there, Josh Staines and Angus Sinclair made the most of a lightning-fast outfield.
Bang. Beautiful shot out to the boundary. Save your legs. Don't bother moving up the pitch at all. 4 runs.
The pair putting on 64 before Sinclair was caught for 43 from just 29 balls. That was not a great move by North Albury. Enter new man Hayat Niazi. The Hoppers tried to unsettle him, so he hit 3 sixes in 1 over.
See what happens here. In the air.
We'll keep an eye
back there.
Niazi launching a breathtaking 54 from 40 balls, including 3 fours and 5 big sixes.
Bang, bang, mid-wicket. Yep, all the way.
All the way. Josh Staines made 36 before he fell LBW to Jake Burge. Leg spinner Callum Langlands pulling the run rate back with 5 for 35, but only just.
For 6, Cameron down the ground. Down towards where we are. That might get pulled in here.
Drew Cameron 78 and Will McCarty 41, putting on 103 to help Belvoir to a commanding 9 for 290. North Albury, though, only know one way, and that's all-out attack, led by Ash Barella.
Bang, Barella, mid-wicket. Let's go. See, deep cover long off, so I'm going to hit it somewhere else.
Yeah. He and opening partner Langlands racing past 50 with 5 falls and a 6 between them. Barella top scoring before he was dismissed for 32, becoming 1 of 5 Lockie McMillan wickets.
Straight through, stumping, brilliantly bowled McMillan.
North Albury going down swinging, the Eagles claiming a massive 128-run win. Meanwhile, Albury have fallen just short of a big upset over St Pat's. Batting first, Albury made 7 for 224, but St Pat's were able to reel the total in 7 out with 15 balls to spare. And Corowa have brought Wodonga Raiders back to earth with a 10-wicket win. Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kiewa returns to the winner's circle in district cricket.
And the hot tips for tomorrow's Melbourne Cup.
Welcome back. It's the race that stops the nation, with the Melbourne Cup less than 24 hours away. Of course, who wins is always anyone's guess, so we went to a couple of local experts to try and find a winner.
For any racing enthusiast, the Melbourne Cup is far and away the toughest race to pick a winner. 24 horses will contest the 3,200-metre event tomorrow at Melbourne's Flemington Racecourse. And it's hard to go past favourite Vauban, the Irish-trained gelding, dominating its last 2 runs.
Comes in with very good form, top trainer, top jockey. Apparently worked extremely well at Flemington with it, Breakfast with the Stars during the week, and opposing trainers were singing his praises, so that's good enough for me.
The race has become an international affair with only 2 Australian-bred horses, number 8 Right You Are and 2019 winner Vow and Declare among the field. Although it's hard to go past the favourite, its biggest challenger could be last year's winner, number 1 Gold Trip.
Don't know if Gold Trip gets the conditions last year. Yeah, so it'll be a solidly run race by the looks of things. Mick Price is sort of adamant he's wanting his go forward, and then you get Gay Waterhouse as a rock hard fit that will certainly go forward.
If you like an omen, numbers 4 and 12 have produced the most winners with 11 wins each. But with so many horses and everyone needing some luck, there's always plenty of value in the field, like number 15, Las Tochka.
It's an imported horse, having its first start in Australia, won its last start over 3,100 metres. It's with Mick Price and Michael Kent now, and I think it's got good form, and yeah, $23 I think at this stage, so a bit of value there.
Popular Aussie trainer Gay Waterhouse has won the Cup just once and has 2 runners this year. One of those, another of the Smokies at $40+.
Maybe Serpentine, maybe, a Moonee Valley Cup winner. I'm thinking maybe it's probably best outside of a chance. And then I had a phone call, cousin in Ireland is in future history, so I'll be watching it with interest.
The race runs at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Kiewa has returned to the district cricket winners list thanks to a big score. Led by 77 to opener Aaron Morrison, Kiewa posted 239 against Estdale, who gave the run chase a nudge, making over 200. In Hume, the Rocks' Oscar Willis and Waller's Joel Merkel both hit tons as Waller remain unbeaten after 4 rounds. And in Wangaratta and District 2-day cricket, Rovers United claiming the first innings points over top of the ladder side, City Colts. 14-year-old Toby Gould has produced a moment in water polo he will never forget. In the grand final rematch against Stingrays, the young gun scored from halfway with the game's final shot to hand Sharks a remarkable 1-goal win. Meanwhile, the winners' top clash between Sharks and Poole Pirates was equally as close, with Pirates also 1-goal winners. And in softball, Wodonga Gladiators played their best game for the season to draw 6-all with Bundy Bears. Up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got an in-depth look at what's happening weather-wise. Stick around, that's next.
Good evening, everyone. A coastal low pressure system and moist easterly winds have generated some heavy downpours along the New South Wales north coast. This system will move southwest into inland parts of the state, including to Victoria over the next couple of days, bringing with it a humid and unstable atmosphere, including showers and thunderstorms. If we look to our rainfall map, the eastern half of both New South Wales and Victoria does look to pick up most of the upcoming rainfall. Thursday looks like the day for some of the heaviest falls. Around 20 to 40 millimetres is currently forecast across the northeast. We could see heavier showers, though, embedded within thunderstorms. To our Tuesday weather, it will be mostly cloudy for most of tomorrow morning before those storms roll through. And, of course, that high chance of showers into the late afternoon and early evening. We could see around 2 to 5 millimetres. Temperatures sitting around the high 20s, even in the 30s for Shepparton and Wangaratta, with a fairly light morning wind. These maximums remaining about 3 degrees above average for this time of year. Mansfield and Beechworth 27 degrees. That wet weather is expected to continue over the next couple of days with around 25 to 30 millimetres for the coming week, but we'll also feel that heat building. Cobram 31 is forecast. A clearer morning, becoming cloudy during the day with that high chance of showers and storms. Around Albury, Wodonga, we could see up to 10 millimetres and the same across the high country. If we look through to Thursday now, up to 15 millimetres of rain could fall on the border, possibly embedded within thunderstorms. That means we could see even heavier showers if those thunderstorms develop. Remaining cloudy but more settled with light winds. Wangaratta remaining in the high 20s. As we reach the end of the working week, that chance of showers easing back to no more than a millimetre or two, but we will also see temperatures heating up 33 degrees by Saturday, guys.
Very warm indeed for the weekend.
That's right.
Thanks, Kirsty. See you later.
And that is your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can always catch up on our website, of course, at 7+.
7 News from Melbourne is coming up next. Have a lovely night. See you again tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. See you then.